You've tuned into The Break Room, a weekly conversation about how the city of St. Augustine works, from those who do the work every day. Hosted by the City of St. Augustine's Communications Manager, Melissa Wissel, The Break Room offers a closer look at the city's programs and provides updates on current and upcoming projects. And now, your host for The Break Room, Melissa Wissel.
Welcome to The Break Room. Thanks for joining us. The Break Room is a place for us to get together for just a few minutes and take a break from our daily work, catch up with coworkers, and hear about what's happening in and around the city. I'm Melissa Wissel, Director of Communications for the City of St. Augustine. This week, the city announced a new mobile emergency alert system called St. Aug Alerts. It is designed specifically to reach city residents and will be deployed only in the event of emergencies that pose an imminent threat to life or property. So here in studio to tell us more about it, I've invited St. Augustine Fire Chief Carlos Aviles to join me. Welcome, Chief.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, rewinding just a little bit here, this past fall, we experienced some major weather events in September.
We did, yep.
No hurricanes, but the water, the flooding, it surprised us, and we're not usually surprised because we have a lot of time to prepare.
Correct.
Not in this case.
No, we got caught off guard, honestly, by two fluke weather events. So one was a nor'easter that ended up being way more significant than we were anticipating because it coincided with a spring or king tide. Mm-hmm. And then the other was just a deluge monsoon rain event where we got 5 to 7 inches of rain in just under an hour.
That's a lot of water.
It is.
And we kind of got worried about that. These things seem to happen more, and we're not sure how to respond, but our community looks to us, the city, fire department, police, as what we can do to help them. So how do we help them prepare better next time?
Correct. And so, Reuben Franklin, the director of Public Works, held a community meeting at Coquina Park in South Davis Shores. And, I attended. It's good to just kind of get the pulse of the community. Mm-hmm. I'm not the one that's going to combat sea level rise or fix flooding. I'm about the furthest thing on the payroll from an engineer that the city has. But in listening to people's concerns and what it is that they were worried about, one of the things that did come up was we wish we would have had more notice. And so that's a very difficult thing to tackle these days because the National Weather Service did issue coastal flood advisories and flash flood warnings, but a lot of people don't get that.
Right.
And even talking to folks that were at the meeting, it was, well, send us an email or we put stuff out on Facebook and Nextdoor and anything. And so that the very difficult part of this is that we're living in an age where media is unbelievably diluted, right? So we're seeing a decline in print media. More people are getting their news from podcasts and social media. And so that's a really difficult thing because there are so many places for people to turn to where traditional avenues of delivering information it's just become more difficult.
That's our challenge in the communications department
100%.
Every day.
And
absolutely.
So, again, I'm not going to start tackling this flooding issue, but we can, from an emergency management perspective, we can help with communication. Right. And so we reached out to our partners at the St. Johns County EOC and found that we had a device that we could tap into called a Nixle. And so what the Nixle does, it's part of the Everbridge system, which the county has an existing contract for. And we were able to set up St. Aug Alerts. So it's a very simple...
before we go, the county tool is called Alert St. John's.
Correct.
And that is something that and let's just talk about that. It used to be Code Red.
Yes.
So we moved from Code Red to Alert St. John's about a year-ish ago.
Yep.
So before anything, let's make sure our listeners know Alert St. John's, first and foremost, also.
Absolutely.
Countywide. And then our Nixle is what you're talking about here, which is really specific to city. It
is. So anybody can sign up for it. What we really were trying to do is develop a system that is designed for our residents here. So while we can't stop anybody from signing up for it, you're more than welcome to do so. But if you live out in the World Golf Village area, Hastings, or the Shores, any alerts that you're getting from this system probably will not pertain to you in your immediate area. So these are for folks within the city limits. and we were looking for an additional way to be able to message them. But the Alert St. John's system is fantastic. And if you go online and register for Alert St. John's, you have the capability of customizing how you receive your alerts. So it could be a phone call, it could be a text message, it could be an email. This is a very simple system to use. All you have to do is type in alert or St. Aug alerts to 888-777, and you will automatically be enrolled in the system.
And that is strictly text, though.
It is.
That is strictly text. So again, comparing the companion piece of Alert St. John's, like you just mentioned, if I do Alert St. John's and I don't have a cell phone or I don't use email, I can get a telephone call on my house phone, which will have some automated recording.
That is correct.
When I register for Alert St. John's, the St. Aug alerts, specifically 888-777, is strictly text messaging. But if I'm registered on St. Aug alerts and I get a text message, something serious is happening.
Yes. So we definitely do not want to bombard people with unnecessary. So we can talk briefly about that, right? We don't want to send unnecessary emergency notifications. And when we did the presentation at the commission meeting this past week, the mayor brought that up, that could be that is sort of one of the failures of the Amber Alert system, is that you get this fatigue from over notifications because it is sent out statewide and it's super important. But the likelihood of you spotting somebody that was on the other side of the state immediately. So these are alerts that are sent out specifically for folks that are within the city limits. And it has to be a very significant event, an event where you need to take immediate action to safeguard yourself, potentially evacuate, or to safeguard any property. And
this could potentially be used in a hurricane scenario, but this is really more of the immediacy specific to city limits. And for example, the king tide flooding where we saw this water coming in wasn't what we were expecting. We could have sent something out. Similarly with the rains, it was just something that we weren't expecting. We might have been able to also message. And again, none of these are fail-proof.
Correct.
Right. No. This isn't going to be the solution to all of it, but we are doing the best that we can to make sure that we have as many tools in place to reach the community.
Correct. Yep. So this is just another tool in the toolbox for us to be able to get a hold of folks and contact them. So we have already started deploying door hangers so that we can target folks specifically in those communities that we know are likely to be affected. And so if you haven't gotten one, it's not because we have forgotten about you. We are making an effort to get out there. We have started in South Davis Shores. We will be working around the Lake Maria Sanchez property very soon, and then also around Oyster Creek. So the intent is for us to get out there. We'll also follow up messaging on utility bills in the few coming months. So the hope is to get everybody signed on, and hopefully we don't have to use it very often.
Right, absolutely. You're listening to The Break Room. I'm Melissa Whistle, Communications Director for the City of St. Augustine. Today in studio, I have the pleasure of talking with St. Augustine Fire Chief Carlos Aviles. Chief, switching gears, I think we got a lot covered there on our emergency messaging. This week is Veterans Day, and I want to say thank you for your service.
I appreciate that.
You are active reserve, U.S. Army, and not unlike many of the members of our fire department. We have prior military.
We do.
I know you guys do a lot with veterans. I know that's something near and dear to your heart, and you've got some cool T-shirts.
We do. Veterans Day is an awesome opportunity for us to be able to show our appreciation to our military community here in St. Augustine. So, I think one of the best parts of being a fire chief for a small department in a city like this is that we get the opportunity to take on so many cool, unique projects, right, that really reflect the values of the organization and the values of the city. So, in October, we wear our breast cancer awareness shirts, our pink fire shirts, and those are always a big hit. And so we were looking for a way to sort of expound upon that, and sort of taking a playbook from the NFL and their salute to service, we designed a military appreciation duty shirt for our firefighters. So that'll debut the week of Veterans Day. They end up wearing it for the entire month of November, and then you will see them reemerge in May for Memorial Day. Mm-hmm.
And is it the same shirt? Because I think someone in my household has one. It's the camouflage, or is it different?
Yeah, we've changed the design. We'll kind of tweak it as the years go on. So this design is a repeat of last year's, and it just has the digital camouflage within the letters of City Fire on the back of them, along with the emblem of all of the U.S. Armed Forces.
And we can buy them. The public can buy them?
No, these shirts are not for sale.
Okay.
So these are just duty shirts. We tend not to sell the duty shirts.
I don't want to be confused for a firefighter.
Right, exactly. But it's an awesome message. I think it's a great way to give back. And so I think it raises, awareness for military appreciation. We are, blessed. We have approximately 15 or 16% of the workforce are veterans.
Great.
Myself included. And, so I guess a message for all the veterans out there and their families is we appreciate the sacrifices that you have made for this country. And if there's ever a veteran out there that is interested in a career in the fire service, I would love to talk to you. I think it's a phenomenal transition.
Mm-hmm.
I see that all the time. I feel so many of them want to gravitate towards law enforcement, and for a lot of them, that's a great fit. But we could find a lot of similarities between what we do on a day-to-day basis and what life on active duty would have been like or on deployment would have been like. And so I think it's a phenomenal career opportunity for folks that are maybe transitioning off of active duty or have that prior military experience.
Excellent. You guys do great work. Another one of the programs that I recall the department started was the pet adoptions. Are we still doing that?
We are. So I love that program. That actually came from a very close friend of mine, Ty Silcox. He is the chief of Fernandina Beach and just became president of the Florida Fire Chiefs Association. So they started this program up there. He put out a challenge to departments in Northeast Florida. We reached out to the St. Johns County Animal Shelter, and their staff has been phenomenal. Now, we have not done it this year because of COVID.
Okay.
But prior to doing it, I think we had 8 or 9 months of it and about a 95% adoption rate. So this was a phenomenal opportunity for us to work with a local partner within the community. They would bring pets that were desperately needing for homes. The firefighters would take pictures with them. We would post little bios, information on them, and oftentimes we would see them being adopted the same day as the posts were going up. So we are very eager to get that program back up and running with them. We had a great success rate. It's an awesome opportunity for the department to be involved in the community and to give back to,
I love seeing Chance and Murph, holding itty bitty kittens,
kitties,
and it's. But it is a great program for the pet adoption. But I do love. There's just something about our first responders with the pets and the animals. It does very well. So hopefully we'll be able to see that coming back.
I'm hoping that we're very close to bringing that back. And I mean we tagged it. The You Could Be a Rescuer Too campaign. And so that's done really, really well. And I hope that to see the return of that very soon. You can be a rescuer too. Mm-hmm.
I like that. Okay, so if I can't be a firefighter, I can rescue a pet.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Chief, thanks for coming by today. It's been great catching up. I hope we can get a lot of subscribers to our new emergency alert system. Like you said, hopefully we won't be needing it. And whether you're local or in the county, don't forget to also look for Alert St. John's. And if you Google that, you'll find that on the sheriff's office and the county websites as well. As we wrap up another edition of The Break Room, I hope we answered your questions. If we didn't, take a minute and drop an email. Send it to info@citysanog.com. Let me know what we missed or if there's someone you would like to hear from. We want to keep you informed about what's happening in and around the city, and most importantly, that you hear it here from the people doing the work and making it happen every day. Remember, in order to stay connected, you need to be connected. Like us and follow us on any of the city's social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You'll find us at City St. Aug. And of course, you'll find the fire department on Facebook and Instagram at City St. Aug Fire. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.
You've been listening to The Break Room, a weekly program about projects and programs offered by the City of St. Augustine. We hope you'll join us each week as host Melissa Whistle and her guests have a conversation that helps you better understand how our city works to meet the needs of our community. See you next time on The Break Room.